The Drip Sports Show, powered by NJCP Football League. High school is over, but your grind is just starting. Welcome to the National Junior College Prep Football League, elite competition, maximum exposure. Secure your spot. Register at NJCP today.
Greetings, my friends. My name is Sam Lutui, and this is my co-host,
Shaun Hartman, here as always.
And welcome to the Drip! Right there. It says it right there.
The Drip Sports Show for the NJCP. Glad to have you here again this week. Last week, we spoke about you as a corporation with the new NIL and whatnot, and your image, and making sure that you don't compromise things like that. And it brought me to this thought: gambling in sports now.
Well, that's the hot topic right now going on with Texas Tech, their quarterback, and I see they reinstated him. But yes, go ahead, finish your thought.
Well, the thing about that, Sam, thank you for bringing that up, because that's exactly where I was going about this. It's something so prevalent and so easy to do, and we don't want our players to get wrapped up in that, because this all ties into last week of talent can open doors, but one poor decision or one bad accusation can roll everything downhill. So be careful with your thought process about going online and doing a little gambling, especially once you get into any institution that possibly they're going to gamble on or put you on ESPN. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, when you're talking about the name, image, and likeness, that has become such a powerful point in college football or college sports right now, or in just sports in general. And the thing that kind of drives me crazy about this ordeal is that for a long time, you know, players were not getting compensated on their own name, you know, their image. And I remember when my brother was playing at USC, his quarterback, Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush during that time, we would look up in the stands and there were a million number 5 and number 11 jerseys in the stands, and those guys didn't get a penny out of that, you know, and there was somebody else is making money off of it. And I'm glad that there's some things that the players can take a hold of and ownership of their own name, their own image and likeness. And so it should be important for them to pay attention to that and conduct themselves in a way that it's very beneficial and it doesn't hurt the brand, right? Because when you become a college athlete, you're a brand, you're a product, you know, and then you do your best to improve your product, and you know, and you're a stock, you know. It's hard to try to teach these young kids how important it is to keep your name, your image, and all of that, you know, to in a place of where it benefits you in the long run. Because you're young, you were young once.
Yes.
Right? Oh. And you, when we were young, we made great decisions when we were young, right?
Oh, bro, come on now. You know how that goes, right? Look, my best friend and I, if we weren't making a bad decision together at one time, it wasn't going to be a decision. We were like gasoline and fire, but that's not the thing that I'm talking about, but I know exactly what you're saying. You know, and the thing is, with all of this going on, players now have more control over what is going to happen with their financial through the college situation. In a sense, it's professional. You go from high school and it's all about professionalism. You're expected to conduct yourself as a professional and be that guy everywhere you go. You know, and NIL, to me, name, image, and likeness, should be part of your community also. Hopefully this is the way that things go. In fact, with the NJCP, this is something that we are going to incorporate, and we are able to do NIL with the jerseys as well with the players. Okay, they can get subsidized or financially compensated for the sales of their jersey if that's what's going on. Because look, in the NJCP, we're here for the player, okay, whether it become the education, the professional aspect, getting your cut of what is owed to you and what you've earned, because everybody knows, man, it's nice to be compensated for your efforts, and if you are helping others out, you should get something back in return. And I'm not saying that in an aspect that, man, it'd be expecting it. No, if you've earned it, you deserve it. And in the NJCP, what you earn, you get back in return. And that's about your education, your NIL, as well as we help you get prepared for the future with all of these things tied in together, Sam.
You know, the NIL term is just been prevalent within the last however many years. But that should have been something that instilled in your day-to-day upbringing, right?
Yes.
I remember, my father, you'd always say, remember, always bring honor to your name.
Sam, in that thing, I want you to know something my dad said. He said, never take my name somewhere I wouldn't. My dad told me that once upon a time. And man, that hit me hard because my dad was like your dad. I honored my father. So when he told me that, I made some better decisions, I believe. But a lot of this, parents, this all starts at home with you as well. This is about you helping raise good young men to become leaders of the communities in our future, because we know right now with young people, there's a lot of disturbance going on. And at the NJCP, we're here to help communities build one at a time and maybe help stop some of the nonsense and bring our players and our young athletes into your community and help build that community to be a better community from the elementary level all the way through, Sam.
Shaun, not all of these players have the privilege of coming from a good home, good upbringing, and a lot of these players, there's some of these players that struggle and are in an unstable environment, and so this is an opportunity for them to be a part of something that could possibly better their situation, right?
Yes.
And so I understand the perfect situation for any kid is to be in a home safe environment of where both parents are healthy emotionally, physically, spiritually, intellectually, to raise that child. But unfortunately in life in general, there's some kids that are just not, in that situation and are coming into this league looking for a better opportunity. And so what I have learned, and if you can elaborate on this, that they have resources that deals with mental health, resources with counseling and all of that. Can you talk a little bit about that in regards to the NJCP and what they would provide for kids that are in need of such help?
Sam, I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of these kids come from single parent families. I came from a single parent family as well, going to junior college. And yeah, it was tough on my mom to be able to put me just through that. But with the NJCP, we are not just your conventional football league where we have a bunch of schools that are thrown into a conference. We are a complete league. In fact, a player can play for one team, and if a coach on one of our JV teams, and if a coach from a varsity program sees him, he can go to that program. The thing about the NJCP, we're more of a family-oriented type league. They help these kids come in, and we can nurture these kids in a sense with the opportunities they have that other leagues don't have that unique format that we have for these kids. Like we said, we can house them. We can get them jobs. As a player that has financial difficulties, especially coming from an unfortunate background, Sam, we help them with financial aid. We help them get to where they need to go. And with the education that we provide, like you said, I love that you said this, we have mentors, we have counselors, we have student tutors. Then we also have people that are willing to help them outside of all this to keep it all together, to understand the whole college, NIL, playing the game aspect. You know what I mean? All three of those components together, Sam.
It's very, I see this, again, as we have talked over these past few weeks I'm just amazed at the opportunity that can come from this. You never know that we're grooming a future NBA champion or Super Bowl champion and I'm including NBA, I'm talking in all sports. And the reason why that comes to mind, recently the New York Knicks has become the world champion, right? After 53 years. And it's an amazing run. You know who the head coach is? Mike Brown.
That's right. And he's been around a minute.
And you know where Mike Brown went to school? He started off at Mesa Community College. A junior college. He was teammates with one of my really good friends from high school. They were teammates. And I just recently asked him, how was he? Did you see glimpses of greatness when you guys were teammates? And he said, no, he was a really smart player back then. He said he wasn't a great player, but he was a smart player. And junior college. And that was in 1989-90 season. And here we are, 30-some years later.
And he's world champion.
World champion.
Coach, yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Could you have seen that from a junior college? At that, could somebody, can you predict that,
Right.
it's like what you can predict is that person has an opportunity. That's the only thing that we can predict. In what I'm gathering from what I see going on in the NJCP is you can't predict a Super Bowl champion. You can't predict an All-Star. You can't predict. The only thing that we can predict is that you have an opportunity, and it seems like a great opportunity.
Sam, it comes down to all I need is a chance. Maybe one. You say I got a chance, 1 in a million, right? But guess what? That's all it takes. And, you were talking about building champions with the NJCP. Not just are we building champions on the field, the court. We're building champions in the community as well, y'all. That's what we want to have happen with the NJCP, because you're eventually, man, your sports career is going to be over in terms of a player. So at the NJCP, we want you to be prepared to go ahead and be a champion in your community, or become a coach, or move on to do something else. But man, we want you to be successful as a person. So let's put that up again, please. And we'll
be right back. We're going to go take a quick break and listen to our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Every great place starts with the right team, and so does every great business. Eterna Indonesia gives U.S. companies world-class offshore talent in operations, marketing, and tech, trusted by top U.S. companies since 2021. Visit eternaindonesia.com.
And we're back
to the drip.
Before we went to break, we were talking about the opportunity that this NJCP provides. Really curious to see the future. Shaun, if I can rub your head here.
Right? But yeah, the crystal ball, my bro, I know, right?
What are you hoping within the next 5 years?
Sam, I'm glad you asked me that question, because with everything that's going on at the moment with the 5 for 5, and all this is going to be voted upon, I think, June 26th or 27th, and we'll know more about the exacts. But what I'm understanding at this moment is you are going to get a grace year between your high school graduation and then the next year that you enroll in school. But if you turn 19 before that happens, and it starts when you're 19. I also see that it doesn't matter what level you're playing. Your clock starts, it starts, okay? The red shirt years, all that stuff, that's all over. There are still some exemptions like we spoke about. Military, religious commitment, a mission, or a pregnancy, those will still be kind of in effect, but once the clock starts, it starts. Now with the NJCP, what I see is we are a brand new organization starting up, but the thing I enjoy is, even though your clock is running, if you have to take a year off because you're ineligible to play that year, you don't get to play anything. Okay, well, why not come play at the NJCP for that year, where you can still get in your work, you can get exposure, and you can get great coaching at the same time.
It still doesn't count.
Right, but it still is going to count, though, against your clock, but you still get to play. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This is for players that they're in, and they're going to have to sit at their university and watch that season go by and be eligible the next year. They can come play for us, and there is not going to be a repercussion because we don't have that association, and they can still get their time in, get their exposure. Hell, who knows? Maybe through us, they get some exposure and maybe not have to go back to the other program. I'm not saying that that's a good thing or a bad thing, but what I am saying, we were talking about opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. And that's what the NJCP provides for these players. Also, the other thing that I was going to get at, guys that are in the portal right now. Some of you guys are floating hard, and you're not going to find a spot to land, my gentlemen. Guess what? We are at the NJCP, the place for you to be, because now you can come and play, even though you're already in the portal and your clock's going to be running. You're just not sitting out a year wasting that time doing nothing. You come play with us, you get your education, you get the mentoring. We can NIL you as well. We can help you build your brand, your corporation, and nobody else has that opportunity but us to do that for you in the aspect that we can do it, Sam.
What I'm hearing, Shaun, is with all of this stuff going on, that there's some great movements that are going on in all the teams, the local teams here in St. George and all around the country. Players are getting ready, coaches are getting ready, and there's excitement in the air.
Yeah, bro, you got me smiling big about just talking about, look, we're talking about our local team, the Silver, okay? the St. George Silver. You know, we got to pump them hard, man, because they're our local boys. We've got players that have played in this community as high schoolers that are going to be playing on the team. We're looking for great things out of the Silver this year. Plus, also, we've got great recruits and commits all over the country. At this moment, I can't list some of them. Hopefully right here, we're posting some of that behind me on the screen with these players, okay? But yeah, we've got a lot of excitement in the air, Sam. And by the way, training camps begin the beginning of August, and that's just around the damn corner. And then games start, I believe, August 29th. So, bro.
While the rest of the world is sleeping, they're already putting in the work. But financial barriers shouldn't keep them on the sidelines. That's why we started the Impact Athletic Foundation. We sponsor underprivileged youth, providing the elite athletic training and vital academic support they need to succeed on the field and in the classroom. Find out how you can help sponsor you and your community. Visit impactathleticfoundation.com today.
There it is. Find yourself your local team. You can go into our website at njcp.com and look at all the happenings and all the latest news and all the movements within the players and coaches, profiles, and all the teams that are in this league. And so go there, and also we like to thank all of our sponsors. And if you'd like to sponsor us as well and to join the Drip, myself and Shaun, you're welcome to join us. And we'll keep talking more about all the stuff that's happening in the league and in sports in general and what's happening around us. And hopefully that we can look into the future, that 5 years from now, Shaun, that we're
like Nostradamus, right? We hope. So, but yes.
But it's there's real excitement in the air, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this thing get its wings and fly off the nest.
And, you know, we're going to let you know that you as a player are important to what we have going on as the NJCP, because without the players, this league can't roll. Okay, so we want to make sure that you get highlighted in what we have going on, because we've talked about how we promote players. At the Drip, we give you your drip. So thank you all for tuning in again this week. Sammy,
there it is, my
pleasure.
friend. Hey, what you have is an opportunity. Take advantage of it. Be good to yourself, be good to each other, and we'll see you next time.
On the Drip.
The Drip Sports Show, powered by NJCP Football League.